Australia.
Good Saturday morning or Saturday evening if you're our friend Mr. Nate McKenzie here. How are you doing, Nate?
Very good, thank you, guys. How about yourselves?
We're good. We're good. Solomon's a little tired, a little sluggish, but he wanted to do this here.
Yeah.
We're keeping to our read. I do want to just apologize. Last Saturday, long story short, I was not in the best health and everything to do this, and I like to keep to my schedule and keep everything. And in the future, if anything that happens with that, I'll just have James do it by himself. But I was not doing the best last Saturday, so did not get to do this, and I apologize. I don't like doing that stuff. But hey, we're with Nate, our buddy from the Superman the Animated Podcast, who currently, as of this recording, in this live viewing, is reviewing the first season of My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah, definitely, and almost coming to an end of season one. I'm really excited to see how we finish off in the last episode, and then hopefully figure out a way to start streaming season two here in Australia. Which unfortunately, as we mentioned last time around, that it's very hard to get come by down here.
Mhm.
But from all reports, season two is going gangbusters, and can't wait to be a part of that too.
Yeah. I've enjoyed yours. I know you just dropped an episode I haven't listened to because I save my podcast for during the week when I have to drive for work. So I saw it and I'm like, okay, cool, cool. I'm like, I will, just enjoy this as I drive. So, but today's episode is episode 2 of season 1. We were splitting it up and not watching them all at the same time. Solomon and I are watching via Max. 'Cause I have the DVDs. Ain't how you're watching today.
For me, I'm watching it on YouTube, so I found the episode on there, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to go.
All right. So we're gonna say 1, 2, 3, and then we'll play,
Yep.
and we'll kind of just try to do the best we can from there. Ready, everybody? 1, 2, 3, play. You got Bugs eating a carrot. Never skip the theme. Never skip the
No.
theme.
I don't know if I told you guys this, but fun fact: this is actually one of my first TV shows that I ever watched. Actually, one of the baby.
Oh wow.
Yep, it was on in his crib because I share this story, but whatever. I'll do it again. uh, I keep it. I bought the season when he was born, and it was kind of my one of many shows I just kind of was rewatching while up at night with him, or even just times where on the weekend, just hanging out in his nursery and just chilling with him, watching it. So I've been due for a long time for a full rewatch. All right, here we go. The Last Son of Krypton, Part 2. I do think it's interesting when they do like the ship travels through like a wormhole or a portal compared to just across space.
I kind of like that.
It's neat.
What planet is that in our orbit?
I know it looks like the moon, but not the moon.
Probably is the moon.
Now we have Mom Paquin. The
I
youngest
still,
we'll ever see them.
I still love the fact that Mara Parkan is in like any rendition of Superman. I love the fact that they're still alive. Like I know there's obviously when he just arrives, but the fact that we see him throughout the series, I reckon, is amazing.
I agree. I think we've talked about this before, but Superman doesn't have to have the tragedy of losing mom, pa. Like I
No,
think it sets him aside because I love the idea that as comics go, Ma and Pa become kind of Ma and Pa to like everybody in the Justice League. Like when you see them interact with Bruce, like more recently in the comics when you find out that Pa Kent actually had a friendship with Alfred.
yep.
I think that's much needed. Um I love for anyone who's a MASH fan that Mike Farrell is Pa Kent, BJ Honeycutt, and I love the fact that his real life wife is Martha.
That's awesome to know.
I can't remember her name, so I do apologize, but
I do love the only times I can remember that when the spaceship lands on Earth, it actually lands; it doesn't crash.
I like that because it makes it a little bit easier to hide the spaceship and the fact that he arrived. That's so cute.
I do like the fact. I was going to say I love the fact that Martha's going through the names of what to name him. I thought the fact that goes through like some of the names we know in the like who Superman's portrayed, like Kirk and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly, he says Kirk and Christopher.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where's Kevin come from? Like, I was like, and what? All of a sudden, I'm drawing a blank on, what's
is he in high school?
Bud? Why not Bud? Because that would have been a great deep cut.
Yeah.
Bud, Oh, there's Lana, a proper redhead.
Yep.
And Jason, Pete Ross. I love this episode. Like I kind like him in Smallville.
I kind of wish we saw more of it. I would have liked to see a couple of episodes. Like I know we kind of go back there in season 3, but yeah, I would have liked to have seen more. Like, I think that's the big difference between going back to the animated series and watching My Adventures with Superman is that with this, when we see him as Superman later on, straight away he's got all these powers. Whereas in My Adventures of Superman, it's like Smallville. We see him gradually see his powers as the episodes move along.
Yep, I love when they do like the running like this right here.
I just like hearing just people like, hey, stop.
Gosh, such a huge disaster. I mean, here he comes.
Me in high school. Like, oh no.
Gotta save the kid. Gotta have the dramatic save of the child.
Yep.
God, I would have lost my junk. Like if I was a parent, like just that fear right there.
But do you like the fact that Lana knows?
Yes.
Yep, from the get-go.
Yes, I do. I think he needs. I mean, it works in the dynamic of like Superman and Lois.
Yep.
But in general, like, I think he needs somebody. Oh, they said Lana. It's okay. I'll allow it. I love him as a voice actor. Binks, Max Goof.
Yeah.
It works. This is great. Good stuff here.
He goes up to the part where he's found the ship.
It's always interesting when they wait so late in Clark's, life to tell him.
I just love how the I don't know if you guys are up to this part yet, when he finds the ship's actually just in the crate, like the
Yeah.
Jonathan's made, like perfect size, and no one's come over and said, "What's in that thing?" Like,
We're at the puzzle box.
oh yeah. I've just caught up to that part now. Yep.
Very good representations of his parents.
I still love that shooter McGavin.
Yes. He does so well.
Yeah.
I just see, for like us Smallville fans and stuff, like people, like we would love to have more of this, like just that journey, because it's such a big part of him.
I think it's different now. Like back then, you just want to see Superman from the get-go, but now, like you said, we've seen 10 seasons of Smallville, and so we know that journey. So I think, yeah, it would have been great to see a lot more of that in this series.
Mm-hmm. And just this, like the idea, he just felt like he's an alien. And
what's this going to say? The fact that he actually gets scared initially, but then once he realizes what he can do, I think that kind of gives him a bit of a better understanding of what he's capable of as well.
Yeah. And like you were asking her about Lana, like I think he needs someone when he's younger to talk to and to, like, just be part of everything with him, like he can't I don't know. I feel like he just can't hold it in by himself and just talk to his parents. Like it makes for a rougher existence.
That's interesting. I just thought of something.
What?
Why does the red sun make him weaker and the yellow one makes him stronger, but the other one's not the sun?
It's supposed to be, it deals with like the radiation of what the sun puts out. I always look at it too, just like he's in a different environment here from his birth. He gets very scientific, but you'd love to fly. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yep. And like feel the clouds.
They're like, huh? I always like the Kents being older than what you would think as for parents, but not like decrepit grandparents.
Yeah,
when they find him,
but like maybe like in their late 40s, like 48.
Like when Clark's 50, I'm thinking like, or when Clark's like 20, I'm thinking like no older than 50. Like enough that they're older parents, but and now we're here. We are in Metropolis.
Yep. And the good part is that, like, in the initial stages of Metropolis, he hasn't really come out and done any big saves yet. Like, there's little stories here and there about, there's this angel and, and blue tights and the red cape. And then we see Lois straight away, and.
Mm-hmm.
You got to love their computers, don't you? Could you? I love their computers. The screen is so small. Like, obviously knowing it's animation.
Mm-hmm. Morning. It's James. He's out fighting crime, trying to save the day. I love Dana Delaney as she's a great Lois.
Always had great chemistry, Dana Delaney and Tim Daly. I thought, even from this episode and moving forward.
They do, and I feel like their story though is like Jimmy.
I still love how Lois just tries to escape as well, and we'll see in a second that Clark actually beats her too. Lex Tower. I thought it was classic.
And see, that's like the dynamic of like early Lois and Clark, and even like the Adventures with George Reeves, like where there was a kind of relationship with him and Lois, but we hadn't really got into the love story as much. And that's, I think, the one thing that this version is missing is we don't really get to the love story between Lois and Clark. It's like we build up their rivalry, their friendship, but we don't get to I just always like how everyone else finds Clark like attractive, and everyone else, Lois, is like finds him annoying at first. We got to see Ron Troop for a quick second earlier.
Yep.
We have an upcoming episode we're doing with the Daily Planet staffers.
Oh, okay.
Holy crap.
I love how many clips from these 3 episodes make it into the opening credits.
I was just thinking the same thing actually before when we saw Martha saw baby Clark for the first time.
And returns. I mean, that is a pretty sweet battle suit, you know.
It is. Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor is still one of my favorites. I know, Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor is still my absolute favorite out of all of them. But yeah, his voice behind this character is iconic. I feel.
Mm-hmm. And then Malcolm McDowell as John Corbin. It's just has that perfect eeriness to his voice. You know, uncomfortable, eerie.
Well, it's just it, and the fact that they've introduced, this character so early, and we've seen the origin story, and we'll see it more often, more of him moving forward. But
he's so calm. Lex is like,
yeah.
Flying angels here.
Corbin's such an easy character to bring in to the mix. Oh, really, man? You have to go through the roof, breaking buildings.
I still love the theme, the Superman theme, and it's.
She says, "No way." She's like, the angel.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I was like, flying, and then all of a sudden I saw a dude flying by himself. They seem very calm and chill. Like, oh, let's shoot this guy. I'd be like, what the? I'd be like, I'm getting out of here. Because I'm like, yeah, there's something off about a guy flying under his own power.
Like, where's his jetpack? Where's,
And down they go. Do they have parachutes?
Yep.
Because, I mean, if I was flying, like, okay.
I hate parachute.
All right, cool.
I'm just like,
James says, it's interesting how Corbin is a mercenary in this. Most of our modern versions were military. New Lois Lane or General Lane. Yeah, I agree. I do think it's interesting because by Corbin being military and like a war hero and all this, it definitely gives him that advantage of being a hero in the public's eye. And people, kind of championing him and liking him.
holy crap.
You can't do a Superman movie without some sort of like plane rescue.
Yeah,
and that's where our episode ends. I totally forgot that's where it ends. Like,
yeah, definitely leaves on the cliffhanger. And yeah, you're right about it's either a plane or a helicopter. And even if you go back to Supergirl, the TV series, the same thing. It's
yeah, I mean, it's just one of those breathtaking all moments of something that Superman can do. Like when you think of Superman Returns, like the highlight of that movie really is the plane rescue scene. So I guess we're gonna have to, James Gunn, you're gonna have to give us a really good helicopter, airplane, space shuttle, some sort of flying thing. You get the great line in Superman the movie where the jet engine goes out and the pilot looks out and tells the other guy, fly.
Yeah.
Just fly. So, but that was the last Son of Krypton Part 2. For all those who are watching with us, thanks. We plan, like I said, I apologize for last week. I had some issues, and going forward, if anything happens where I can't do it on Saturday, I'll make sure that James can do it. And we just continue. I like to stay on schedule, but every Saturday morning here at 9:00, we're going to watch an episode. We're just taking them one at a time for our Saturday morning cartoons with Superman the Animated Series. I want to thank our buddy, Mr. Nate McKenzie, coming at us, joining us from Superman the Animated Podcast. Nate, anything you want to plug and talk about real quick?
Yeah. So like I said, we're finishing up season 1 of My Adventures with Superman. Going to have a break this week, but we're back the following week. I'm going to have a special guest talking about the last episode, and then probably go back to a couple of DC animated movies in between until I can find season 2 of My Adventures with Superman. But you can find us on all your favorite podcast apps at Superman the Animated Podcast, and you can find us on all your social media channels at Superman the Animated Podcast. So I hope to see you or hear from you there. Awesome.
It's a great time. Like, go and check out Nate's back catalog of episodes. Very, very fun to watch, especially after you watch with us. Go back, check out his previous episodes. What you got, Solomon?
I just have to say on my podcast, Salem Solo, there's gonna be something. I think we're gonna do like a Saturday Night Live, not live, but we're gonna do like Saturday morning, thing with the a show. We're gonna do Sonic Prime. That's what I'm planning to do is Sonic Prime. So I hope you guys see that.
Yeah, if you're a Sonic fan, check that out. You can find the links down below. Good morning, everybody. Good night. Good evening. And
Good afternoon,
remember,
good evening, good night.
exactly. See you next Saturday.